Hey guys! Today is the second most important food event in my family. It's gomtang day. Gomtang is a simple Korean beef bone soup, but to do it properly it takes us about 3 days. So today I'm going to quickly walk you through the process. We use cut beef bones, so the first step is really important, blanching and washing the bones. When the bones are sawed through, there can be tiny bone shards left on the cut surfaces, so we want to clean all of that off before making the soup. First, the bones go into a pot of boiling water. We have leg bones, kneecaps, and honestly, it does have a little bit of a bizarre food vibe, but I love the final result, so I just push through. As the bones boil, foam starts rising to the top. That's mostly proteins from the blood, so we skim it off. Once the water comes back to a rolling boil, we take the bones out, set them aside, and start again with the next batch. My mom brought 15 kilograms, a little over 30 pounds of beef bones from Charma, which is a small butcher town near the Busan. They have really good quality meat and very reasonable prices, so our family always gets gomtang bones from there. So since we had so many bones, I had to run about 10 batches just to blanch everything. You can see some ribs going in as well. Popular bone cuts for gomtang include calf bones, leg bones, tail bones, and ribs, but in my experience, the real winner is actually the hip bone. Meanwhile, we needed to get our Gamasot ready. This is kind of special. I don't know many people my age who have one at home, but a long time ago, a lot of Korean households use these. It's a traditional cast iron cauldron, and this is what we use to make gomtang. We've kept it covered from the rain and recently re-scrubbed it with salt and rubbed it with oil to prevent rusting. This is a pretty good sized gamasot. It'll probably hold about 8 to 10 gallons of water. Since we're going to fire it up, I'm adding some water first to make it easier on the pot as it heats. I'll add enough to cover the bottom. Then we open the gas valve and there goes the fire. Now we just wait for it to slowly warm up and come to a boil. Back inside, the final batch of bones has finished blanching. This last batch is the tail bones. The cut surfaces can still have some blood or tiny pieces of bone stuck to them, so we clean them in cold water. I rub the cut sides with my fingers to make sure they're clean. Once the bones are washed, they are ready to go into the gamasot. I'm just going to finish up here with a quick cleanup. And here we go. I have this huge food grade bowl out, the same one we use for kimjang, and I have my bones here. This is actually not all of them because they were way too heavy to move all at once. The water outside isn't rapidly boiling yet, but it's already very hot, so we're going to start adding the bones. Also notice that my husband is wearing a winter coat. This was filmed in December. You really want cold weather for this, so please don't try making this in the summer. You'll risk spoiling your precious soup. So in go the ribs and in go the leg bones. Then we close the lid and let everything boil for about 4 to 6 hours. Okay guys, fast forward 6 hours. We have reduced the heat to low, because once the gamasot comes to a boil, it holds heat incredibly well. You really don't need much heat to keep it going. When we open the lid, you can see this rich, milky broth. At this point, we turn off the heat and start taking out all the bones. We intentionally put the tail bones in last, so they would be easier to find after boiling. We're going to eat the tail meat as suyuk. It's one of the most tender cuts of beef for suyuk, so we take the tail bones out first and set them aside. Then we remove the rest of the bones as well. Once all the bones are out, we let the soup cool outside through the cold winter night. Don't throw the bones away. We're going to boil them 2 more times. So this is the next day. Overnight, the cold air hardened the fat on top into something that almost looks like white chocolate bark. We're going to scrape that fat off and throw it away. And look at that soup underneath. This is exactly why we took the bones out while the soup was still hot. The broth is completely gelatinous now, so if we had left the bones in overnight, it would have been really hard to shake all the soup off the bones. This gelatinous texture is exactly what we're after. I brought over a clean pot and used it almost like a giant ladle because ladling this little by little would take forever. Then I transferred the soup into a huge food-safe plastic bag. But this is not ready to eat yet, so hold on. In the next video, I will show you how we finish the suyuk and the gomtang into a full meal like this. So stay with us and happy cooking!